For the past week now, we've been following the journey of ItzJhief, who has been showing us all of the new textures he's been working on behind the scenes, which are now known as the V3 textures. And in this snapshot video, we are going to be going over all of the changes in 21w08a, where I'll not only be discussing them all, but showing you every single one of them. So if you're going to enjoy the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe if you're new around here. But without wasting any more time, let's get right into the snapshot. So I'll put the patch notes on screen right now, but the first big change is that the cave sizes have been tweaked further. And not only that, but canyon and caverns now apply below Y0, which is pretty interesting and quite strange how this was not the case before, but at least it has been changed now. So let's get on to the real changes. Let's start with Grimstone. So there is now a new type of Grimstone called Deep Slate. So if we go over here real quick, this is Deep Slate. It's pretty interesting and it is very identical to Grimstone, apart from it has this unique texture on the top. Now I cannot express in words how much I love this new texture. At the top it looks a lot more like stone, kind of a bit like dripstone if you think about it in that way, but that texture is unique to the top. So if you are walking along, you get one experience, but then if you drop down and look at the side, it is the Grimstone we've all come to love. And then we have this version, which is Cobbled Deep Slate, which is just Deep Slate but with the same Grimstone texture on the top. So if you maybe wanted to do like a tiled roof, you could use this block, but if maybe you wanted a unique looking floor in your home, you could use this one. They're both very cool and I really like this change. And another really cool one I'm pretty sure you probably noticed straight away is the introduction of tuff around the deep dark. Now this is definitely very cool and much needed. It just adds a bit of a contrast to the Deep Slate and just makes everything look a bit more cool, you know, makes everything feel a bit more varied and a lot less boring than it was before. I think this is the change I really wanted in the last snapshot, but I did not know I wanted. Now it's in this snapshot and it's in the game. I absolutely love it and I cannot imagine the deep dark without it. But enough about all that, let's get on to the main bread and butter of this snapshot, which is the new Deep Slate ores and the new V3 textures we've been talking about. So obviously there is Deep Slate Gold ore, which uses the Deep Slate texture but around the ore. Now I cannot state enough how this change was so desperately needed. Before they would poke out like a sore thumb, but as you see if you look up, they blend in very nicely and the colours just pop, which is really cool. And you can see the texture of the Deep Slate, which from below looks very cool, and yet altogether it just ties this new biome together very nicely and it's a change that we desperately needed. Here is the Deep Slate iron. I know this ore was very controversial, especially on this channel, but honestly I kind of like it now and it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Then we have Deep Slate Lapis Lazuli. Now I wish they modified this one to just pop like the Deep Slate Redstone and the Deep Slate Diamond, because if you look at these from afar they just kind of pop. You can see the white at the top and it just kind of just makes it look so nice. And this kind of looks 3D the way it's dark around and then you've got the light redstone poking out. I just wish they did that with the Lapis Lazuli, but I guess they've done this to kind of separate it from diamonds. But you know, I really think that this could go for a V4 change, which could make it look even nicer. But altogether, these new textures, I do really like them. I know at first nostalgia was blocking me from enjoying these, but after a few weeks and a week of just enjoying these textures, I do really like them. If I could change one though, it would be the iron, because I still think it looks like worms. And now possibly my favourite apart from the Deep Slate Diamond is the new emerald ore and the copper. And of course I still love the coal, which we saw last week. But one weird thing about these new ores is they do not have Deep Slate versions. Now I do not know if it's because these do not generate below Y0 or just because they've not textured it yet and they've not figured out how it's going to look yet, but I really do think these could do with some deep slate variants, even if they're not going to be very common below Y0. I think the change would be very cool, and yeah, I just really want to see it in the game. I do really love this new copper and emerald texture though, I cannot lie to you all. And the final big change, I'm sure you've noticed peeking in my field of view from the very start of this video, is the new spore blossom. Now, as you can see, the spores are not only dropping down like they used to, but they are filling up the entire cave. So if we go up here to where I set up like a little demonstration, you can see the spores just floating around everywhere, which looks absolutely awesome. And I'm guessing this is going to be the main way we find lush caves. If you're underground and you did not find the tree, I'll guess you'll see like the spores floating around, and that will lead you to the lush caves. But this just gets me ever more excited for the new lush caves biome, and it just gets me so excited. But yeah everyone, that is it for this snapshot. It's a pretty short but pretty sweet one. I do love all of these new textures, and I just love the snapshot in general. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you like these new textures, or do you hate them and you want the old textures back? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Altogether, very good snapshot, and I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.